Hello, everyone. We are at the studio of Sungates Center, and we're happy to announce, we really very excited to announce our launch of our new show here and Be Heard. And my name is Rita Board, and I'm a holistic health coach, and I'd like to introduce my co-host, Svetlana Burak. Hello, Svetlana.
Hello, Rita. It's great to be here with you and all of our listeners.
Super good. And Svetlana is in San Diego, and as everybody and most of you know, we are in Chicago, in Wheeling. Svetlana is amazing, a beautiful woman, one of my perfect clients who completed 6 months program more than 5 years ago, I guess. And she had an amazing result. Now she is an integrative nutrition coach herself and a perfect example how by setting the intention and act on it, everything is possible, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. So before we begin to share Svetlana's story, I'd like to say a few words on why we choose this name for our show, Hear and Be Heard. Um, I am absolutely sure that our listening, those who listening to us, know about chakras. Each chakra is associated with a certain part of our body and a certain organ which provides with the energy and needs to function. Additionally, just as every organ in the human body has its equivalent on a mental and spiritual level, so every chakra corresponds to the specific aspect of human behavior and development. The openness and flow of energy through our chakras determines our state of health and balance. Each center has an integral function in creating our energetic balance. So the fifth chakra, I'm not going to be talking about other chakras, and I'm sure it'll be one of the topics for our future shows. But today, I just want to mention that fifth chakra, throat chakra, is the center for communication, self-expression, and creativity. This is where the inner voice of one's truth is expressed. It's responsible for communication, creativity, sound, intuition, self-expression, the most important, desire to speak and hear the truth. And of course, this chakra is connected to thyroid health and overall well-being, which me and Svetlana been through, and we know from firsthand how important is it, especially for women, to hear and to be heard, right?
Yeah.
So from this, I hope this our conversation will help everybody who listen, and we are happy to support you here every Monday at the same time. And you know more about us and about our experience when we speak on different topics, especially on thyroid health. So, Svetlana, you become a successful health coach. Would you like to start by telling everybody how you start your journey and how did you feel before we met?
Absolutely. I'll be happy to share. Let me take you back in time a little bit before
Yes.
I met you. Even though I am a health coach right now and I lead a relatively healthy, a pretty healthy lifestyle, it wasn't always like that. And as you remember, Rita, when I met you, I was always tired and brain fogged. I was addicted to sugar and I was addicted to morning coffee. And that was my life for many years, even though I knew better because my parents are health geeks. Um, had an extra few pounds. They were stubborn and I couldn't lose. So that was for for years. And then about 5 years ago, I married the love of my life, Gilbert. We had a beautiful wedding, and then, as all married couples, many, not all, many married couples, we decided to start a family. And we wanted to have a healthy family, right? Obviously, we
Absolutely.
wanted to have a healthy and happy baby. And that is when I had my wake up call. I had a call from my doctor who said, Svetlana, you have hypothyroid and Hashimoto's, and your reproductive hormones are out of whack. At that time, I didn't know exactly what that meant, but I quickly learned that what that meant for me was that we had to put our plans on having a baby on hold because for those women with Hashimoto's and hypothyroid, they're at risk for miscarriage and preterm birth and developmental issues in children. Well, that was devastating news to hear for me, obviously. I was in shock. Um, and looking back at that moment, I'm realizing though it was a good wake-up call for me. It was what I needed to hear to make a change, make a turn in my destiny, in my destination. And I'm gonna talk about a few moments of intuition in my journey, and this was one of those moments. There's something inside me. There was a voice inside me that said, "No, Svetlana, you don't have to live like this for the rest of your life, and you don't have to be on medication for the rest of your life," which was what I was hearing from conventional medicine, that medication would be the only treatment that I would get.
Hmm.
So I decided to research. This is what I do. I research. I decided to look into my other options, and what I found changed everything. Um, and I didn't think that thing would actually work, but it did. What I found was that by changing how I eat and how I take care of myself and how I think, um, I can actually change the course of my life and my health. So I started eating better. And this is when I actually started seeking out my dream team, my support team. And this is when I found you, Rita, and
Hmm.
surrounded myself with tons of support,
Hmm.
including my husband and acupuncture. And um, so, you helped me take small steps towards new lifestyle. And, changed my lifestyle, changed my diet, changed how I took care of myself. And I went into remission in 6 months.
Hold on, hold on. Hold on right here.
Oh, I'll slow down.
I just want to pay attention to our listeners that you said that you did the research. Just wanted to stop right here and say how important is this to take responsibility. That's the key word, responsibility for your health. Because nobody can help us better than we help ourselves. None of the doctors, acupuncturists, nobody else, even health coach, because we know that when we do our own research and we start looking and put our intention and get better, then things happened. So when we met, and I remember it was one of my cooking classes, and
Mhm.
I remember when you called and you asked all the possible questions, and the most important one for you was, is this class going to be gluten free? Remember?
That.
So the first step for you was to be gluten free, right? How
Yeah,
important was that?
yeah. I think that was huge for me, and still believe it is huge for me and everybody that I work with. It's one of the biggest
Hmm.
steps to take for thyroid and Hashimoto's and autoimmune conditions.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So we had a first conversation, the health history conversation. You fill up our form and we talk. I took you upstairs. I remember all this like it was yesterday.
Yes, I do.
And while everybody were eating the what we cooked and whatever I showed, and you said, let me think about it, and when I get my results, I'll get back to you. So I think it was about 2, 3 months before you really called and said, yes, I'm determined to start working with you. And that was the beginning for you. I mean, it was not the beginning for you, but it was the beginning for me to actually every person, every client is a realization for ourselves because every person changed something. It's a learning curve too. So
Absolutely.
something new in every person because we're not only doing this for our clients, we're doing it for us.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Every client is our own learning experience and
Mm-hmm.
guide too for our journey. I'm learning
Yeah.
that still.
Yes.
That's powerful.
So great. Um, Tell me, also I remember how on the first sessions you were so tired and you just listened for 10, 15 minutes and you couldn't even talk. You shared with me the results of tests and how you improved, but overall, I saw that, see, the voice, the throat chakra is showing. I'm sorry.
Need some nourishment.
Right, exactly. So, um, but over time, every next session, it was better and better. And you showed improvements and your test results was getting better. So
Yeah.
what would you like to share what you actually did for yourself um,
Mhm.
on those months?
Yeah. It wasn't any kind of magic, to be honest with you. It was simple steps, like for example, you would bring me recipes. And one of my goals from what I remember was to add more vegetables to my diet. And I was lacking in that big time. I mean, how simple is that, right? Just adding vegetables. And so I remember having those recipes and setting myself goals that I would follow through and I did my best. So just adding more nourishing foods and removing the junk.
Hmm.
I started meditating, and you taught me some powerful breathing techniques. Um, you really motivated me to be consistent with meditation. I think those pieces are huge as well. Our stress levels are so much can be helped by taking a few minutes out of the day and just breathe and just
Hmm.
self. So yeah, simple things like that. There's no like magic wand waving, right, or anything like that. It was small, consistent steps over 6 months. And also, Rita, I think one of the biggest pieces for me was your unconditional support and love. You were
Oh,
there for me
thank you.
to listen and to be there for me and to support me every step of the way.
Yeah,
That's huge.
thank you. Thank you. Yes, I still feel the goosebumps when you're talking because I remember how eager you were. And actually, I was always thinking that even though I was in support, in guidance, that the main job that was you yourself, your determination to have a baby. That was I still have goosebumps remembering those times. And what happened then? Something actually I remember it was the middle of our work together, like about 3 or 4 months,
Hmm.
that I had a phone call from you.
Hmm.
I was in my car driving and was noisy and I couldn't hear well what you were talking about, but the tone of your voice and inspiration was telling me everything. So I didn't want to interrupt you in, say, in saying that I cannot hear you because I knew it was something important. Would you like to share with
Yeah.
our listeners what was important?
Yes, this was one of, well, I would say probably the biggest aha moment during my transformation and work with you. Um, so this phone call happened a few days probably after our session.
Yes.
And during the session, you showed me a book.
Hmm.
And this book is by Louise
Okay.
Hay, Heal Your Body, A to Z. And so Louise Hay breaks down every illness So she lists every illness, and then probable cause, um, as in cause as in your thoughts or beliefs, your core thoughts or beliefs about life or yourself, and then she suggests a new thought pattern instead of your current one. So what you showed me was thyroid, and let's see, I'm gonna find it. Thyroid. So problem thyroid, and probably cause was humiliation and um, core belief. I never get to do what I want to do. When is it going to be my turn? And it just struck me. It was like, oh my gosh, this is so me. I was, yeah, I was probably having a hard time accepting myself where I was at that point in my life, and never really felt like I had a very strong voice in speaking up for
Mm-hmm.
myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I called you, it was actually during my break, my lunch hour, my break at work. And at that time, I was working for a company and an emotionally abusive boss, and
Oh,
I could not stand up for myself. I was freaked out, like I was scared of him, and I couldn't speak up. I did not speak up for myself, so I take responsibility. So that was part of, the whole problem. Um, and after I realized that, it was like something hit me over the head. I'm like, what? Why wouldn't you speak up for yourself? So anyway,
mm-hmm.
ever since then, I made a point that I would actually speak. I would find my voice and I would say something to him when he would, start getting emotionally abusive.
Right.
Um, and it started to work. I noticed he started respecting me more, and he wouldn't speak down at me as much. So this was just like one example of where I just did not feel I had a voice. So it's work in progress. I'm still working on that, and it's a lot
Right.
better where I used to be. Um,
Right. But I guess the understanding that that's what it is.
yeah,
That's where I should go from here is changing everything. And when we know this is something, this is something we need to change.
yeah,
It's the turning point of every healing process. And
yes,
again, it's about everything. You start with food, and then you understand that emotional process and the throat chakra and the voice, and then your thought patterns.
yes.
So,
Yes, it's all holistic. It's all encompassing. It wasn't just about food. It wasn't just about um, me getting enough sleep. It's that plus, the way you think about yourself and the way you think about the world and people around you.
right,
It's,
and the love that you share with other people, and the love for yourself. How
that's
important is
true.
that, right?
It's huge. Yeah.
Right. So that was a great process, and then it was it's so emotional. I remember being in Brazil and getting email from you that,
Hmm.
well, there was two news, I think. Maybe chronologically it wasn't right, but it's not that important. I remember two good news from you, even and being in Brazil and getting it was such a amazing story for me. And we'll tell our listeners later why Brazil is so important for you and me. But it was two great news that you get pregnant and you're going to quit your job and become a health coach.
Yes.
So how did it happen?
Oh, wow. So the first event was actually me deciding to become a health coach.
Hmm.
And this was another point in my journey where the intuition really kicked in. And I remember this moment very vividly. I actually woke up one morning and this was after I found out that I was in remission. So I, experienced success in my transformation. I was very inspired by the whole process. And then one morning I woke up and this powerful thought enters my mind. Well, what if I, look into learning more about this, becoming a health coach and actually sharing this new found knowledge with others. This was the first time I thought about it. It wasn't like you were telling me about, this Institute for Integrative Nutrition, and you weren't like ever talking to me about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I knew about it because you went there. So I was remember laying in bed in the morning, scrolling through my phone, looking for this information, for more information about Institute for Integrative Nutrition. Very, very powerful desire to
Mm-hmm.
know more. And I remember getting on the call with admissions counselor that same day, and
Mm-hmm.
then signing up in 2 days. Like I talked to
Wow.
people about, their experiences, of course, and I did some more research, but I just felt so strongly about it. And I signed up probably 2 or 3 days after the thought came to me. And if I wasn't listening to my intuition at that time, I would not be here for sure. I would not be where I am right now. Um, so yeah, it was a very powerful and enriching experience to go through the school, and in so many ways,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of my own awareness, self-awareness, and personal growth, and more being aware of course, health options. So yeah, I'm really happy that I did that, and here I am. So that was the first moment that I shared with you,
Right.
right?
Right.
And the second moment was that we were pregnant with our baby, yeah, who is now 3 years old and healthy and happy, little boy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so exciting. He's an amazing boy, and it's so great to see all your sharing how he grew up. And I remember um, that was amazing moment when he was here with you for the drum circle. He's
Mm,
in love with music, right? He's
he's amazing.
so into instruments and drumming and singing, is he?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
He still is. Oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
and he drums. That's his calling. I can tell for sure. Hmm.
Great. Yeah. So every dream, everything that you dream of, you get accomplished, right? With support of your husband, and
Yeah.
there is a picture behind you where you dance. You're also a
Uh,
dancer.
yes. Yeah. This
Uh-huh.
one is from our wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Husband is a dancer, and so am I. But he actually choreographed this dance, Viennese waltz, that we're performing at our wedding.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it gives me goosebumps when I think about it or watch the videos.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So
So
that's
now,
nice. He's a huge support in every step of the way. Through my illness and through signing up for this for Institute for Integrated Nutrition and quitting the job and all of that. So I'm pretty blessed. Hmm.
yes, yes. And well, that's your job. That's also your job. It's not happen just with everybody. We attract those who we need if we really into it.
Yes,
That's great. And you met your husband, your future husband, during the dance lessons. Are you?
yes,
Here's a
we were in
yes,
a
sure.
dance group. Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Super. And then I remember another great news for me that
Hmm.
you are going to Brazil to see John of God, and you were already pregnant, right?
Yes. Well, actually, if you remember, before that,
Uh-huh.
you went to Brazil and I sent a request with
Right, to
you.
bring
One of the requests was I wanted to have a healthy baby and healthy pregnancy. The other one, I was looking for a change in my career because I was not feeling fulfilled.
mm-hmm.
Um, and that is after that moment,
Okay.
sent, after you gave the request to John of God, is when I became pregnant and I found Institute for Integrative Nutrition. I don't know if it's related or not, but hey, it's out there.
Well, Miracles happened when we believe in miracles, in everything happening for us. If we, first of all, if we ask for help and we know what we need. In this spiritual hospital in Brazil, spiritual hospital of John of God, it made a huge transformation for me. Because after I was there two times, I decided to become a guide. I asked permission to be a guide, and I've been there 10 times, and every time is different depending on who I bring there, on the people, and every time something new happening for me. So this is amazing place, and it was the reason you went there too.
Yes,
It
yes.
was a calling. Usually we say that's a calling when people
Yeah.
go there.
Yeah, I think definitely was a calling. It was another intuitive
Hmm.
to go there. And I would love to have another conversation with you, like whole other show on that. I think that's gonna be
Oh,
fascinating.
yes, absolutely. It may be one of the topics that we can talk about because
Yeah.
it not necessarily we have to wait for the sickness or something happening in our life to go there or even start our holistic journey. We don't have to wait for the uh, sickness or diagnosis that say that we have to start.
Mhm.
It 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 should be there for every day for us.
Yeah.
Everything is there. It's just our inner state, and be
Yeah.
open to transformations and feel
Yes.
good,
Yes.
right? No matter what.
Right. And it's widely known that for of those people who do have transformation, when they go to see John of God, it's really not mostly his work. It's our inner work that makes the difference
Yeah,
primarily.
right.
He does help, or not he himself, but
The
through the help.
spirits that working
Yeah.
through him, because John of God is full trance medium. He is giving up his physical body for those spirits and entities who work with him. But of course, this concept is not for everybody. It's maybe hard to comprehend for some people, but
Mhm.
uh, that's what it is.
Right. Hmm.
Right. So what really inspired you to become who you are today? We talked about it, but kind of in short, what
Yes.
what really inspired you to
Mhm.
be here?
Well, definitely my experiences, definitely my illness. That's
Mhm.
kind of the biggest driving force. Hashimoto's and hypothyroid. Um, I would say my parents. They're they're my health geeks. They have introduced me to a lot of to a healthy lifestyle, even though I wasn't always following it, but um, definitely give them a credit. A few people that I haven't met in person. For example, Dr. Mark Hyman,
Mhm.
the biggest functional medicine doctors in the country. Um, he's helped me in so many ways through his writings, through his books, and of course, Rita, you
Thank you.
definitely huge inspiration for me. My husband, I couldn't do it without him. Yeah, he's amazingly supportive, as I mentioned. Yeah.
Uh, I know you also have a degree in physiology from Institute from U of I.
Oh, psychology. Hmm.
Psychology, right?
Hmm.
Does it help you in your job now?
Absolutely. I do use my skills as a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't work as a therapist primarily, but I definitely use the skills because when it comes to change, it's not always easy. And sometimes the things that stand in our way are um, our core beliefs that we have learned and internalized from our early ages through the messages we've been getting from our, parents or the media or our society. Sometimes we get stuck in our journey because of the stories we tell ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
For example, somebody is trying to incorporate a new lifestyle or new habits. They might sabotage themselves because deep down inside they might feel they don't deserve to be healthy and happy, and it's a subconscious belief,
Mm-hmm.
or they don't, or there the achieving state of health is not possible. So where I come in then is why I help them identify these core beliefs, and so we can, make a breakthrough and address them so they can move forward and achieve their goals. So I think, that is definitely a big piece of what I do in coaching. It's not just about giving out information.
Right, of
Yeah.
course,
Mhm.
yes.
Right.
That's very good. So, as a health coach, who do you work with now?
So right now I work with men and women with thyroid disorders and Hashimoto's. Most of my clients are women who mothers want to be or new mothers
Mm-hmm.
who want to attract their ideal weights and more joy and more energy into their life. And I do that by educating them about foods and exercise, relationships, self-care, self-love, and spirituality, holistic approach, so they can make the choices that are best for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you have the whole group on the Facebook, which where you do amazing job supporting people. They can find this group on Facebook. What's the name of the
Oh,
group?
yes. It's Thyroid and Hashimoto's Support of California, although anybody is welcome there. The reason I titled it California is because that's where I'm right now, and I'm actually gathering resources that may be helpful for local people, like local practitioners. But anybody can join it. Hmm.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you for that amazing support because it actually helps me also to
Oh,
see. Yeah, of course.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's
I'm so happy you're part of that.
of course. Yeah, this is great. And also, you fulfill your another dream. You moved from Chicago to San Diego.
Yes, we did. We did. It's been our dream for the last 4 years, ever since my husband and I first visited San
Hmm.
Diego. I totally fell in love with it, love at first sight. I've been dreaming about it ever since then. And about 6 months, actually a year ago, just the right moment presented itself. So we picked up and we moved here. So we've been here for 6 months now.
Do you feel health-wise? Do you feel any difference being here in Chicago or in San Diego, like climate-wise, or is there difference really in your own health that you feel better because that's the city you dreamed of, or how did your life change?
Well, it's only been 6 months, so I'm not sure if it's, enough to tell,
Mm-hmm.
but by the fact that it is warm outside every day
Mm-hmm.
of the year and that I can be out and walking or doing something
Outside.
outside, plus the fact that it's sunny most of the time, it really contributes to my level of happiness. I think that's huge. Yeah. So,
Yes, I believe that the sunshine and vitamin D makes the big
mhm.
difference. And everybody here in Chicago, whoever I meet, they want to move somewhere warm and to feel the sun. Oh, I mean, I'm speaking about myself first of all. So my trips to Brazil, actually, those breaks twice a year that I can be there in high vibrations and feel filled by the not just by vibrations but the sun and sunshine
Uh-huh.
and vitamin D, and that's amazing. It's
Yeah,
good move, good
you.
move,
Yes,
good
thank
job.
you.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what do you enjoy being a health coach yourself?
Oh, Rita, great question. I love connecting with people one on one. I love having that, relationship where, we work together towards something huge, something big for them. So the connection is very important. And the other thing is just seeing the transformation and results.
Hmm.
That's so inspiring and so motivating for me to keep on going forward and continuing to support people. So those,
Yes, I agree absolutely. I guess that's the most important thing, seeing results in transformation in other, and that we make an impact starting from ourselves.
yeah,
That a huge
yeah.
difference.
Yeah, you know
Yes.
how it is. Yeah, the feeling of seeing someone come to you and say, "Oh my gosh, I have more energy. I can do
Hmm.
stuff. I can enjoy my life more." It's huge. It's very
Exactly, but this are the small steps. We're not getting better overnight
no.
because
Yeah.
yeah, because we all looking for fast results in its medicine, like any medicine, of course, and it's not necessarily that make us feel better, but that's progress. That's a work in progress. And you did a great job yourself, and I'm sure you're doing a great job for helping and supporting and guiding other people.
Thank you.
And
And,
that's sure.
truthfully, I am still incorporating new things every day. I think it's growth and progress. It's never gonna end.
Of course not. Of course not. Things change and we change, and every time, every day, we know we learn something new. How can it be different?
And there's no perfection. I'm not perfect, There are days when I look back and I'm like, oh, it could be better. And I don't get down on myself for that because I know that I can get back to,
Mm-hmm.
being optimal again.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what to do since I've, been through it. So it's all good.
Yeah, and to show those small tools to people that we work with, that's
Mhm.
also great. And the more we know, the more we share.
Yes, yes, right. The
So,
more,
is there anything you want to share with our listeners as our program comes to the end? That's something, the words of wisdom that you want to say something?
oh, yes, Rita. Two things I would like to share. One is that you have a right, a birthright to enjoy your life and to be healthy. It's given to you, it's there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And um, number two is that if you give your body the nourishment and the love and the right foods that it needs, the body can heal itself. And positive thoughts. um, a body has the capacity to know what to do with that goodness and can heal itself.
Great, super. So, where our listeners can find you if they want to speak to you personally?
Sure, they can find me online. My home on the internet, my website.
Mm-hmm.
That's www.myhealthbeat, myhealthbeet.com. And there you can find a way to email me or call me. So that's,
Do you want to tell us a story about the name of your website?
oh yes, my health beat. The beet, actually, BEET, you're wondering about beet, right? Why is it that? Is that misspelled? Well, no, not really. Actually, my husband was the one who had this idea. His last name, Burak, which is now my last name, means beet in Russian and Ukrainian. So Burak is beet. Plus the fact that we're dancers and there's the beat, there's the music. So there's a double meaning there too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That that's how we came up with that. Thanks for
Great.
asking
Yeah.
that
Thank,
question.
thank you, Svetlana, for your inspiration and be open to share your experience with us. And just want to tell our listeners that we are going to meet every Monday. That's the intention. At the same time, 10 Pacific, 12 Central Time. And we're going to go deeper into a health of thyroid and Hashimoto in overall well-being and health, um, and talk about wellness in different steps that we can take to help ourselves,
Mhm.
especially women, to feel happy and healthy and not be in this dark hole or dark spot where we sometimes found ourselves. And we're going to share those tools that will help us to feel uh, better. And not just better, but you like to say to be optimal, right?
Yes.
So you can listen to us at sungatesradio.com. And also, I just want to mention, if you hear different language, don't be scared about. We'll be on time every Monday. And it's not going to be just me and Svetlana. We're going to invite guests, those who knows more than we do in different aspects of our lives. And also, if you're in Chicago, if you can visit sungatescenter.com or our physical center here in Wheeling, and we welcome everybody. And thank you very much. Be happy, be healthy. That's our intention, our program. And thank you, everybody who listened.
Do we have a topic for the next radio show yet?
Do we? Well, I guess we announce it
Okay.
very soon, and everybody will hear about it,
Sounds great.
right?
Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Rita. Thank you. It was great talking with you and being in presence of you and all of our listeners.
Okay, we'll see everybody next Monday, same time, same
Mhm.
place. Bye
Yes.
bye.
And bye.